Marlene,
What
are you doing?
Oh, sorry, I was just checking the bookies' odds to see who their favourite is to take over as First Minister. Well, they often say that. The bookies' odds are a better indication than any poll. Wow, that was a bit of a shock, though, wasn't it?
It was a bit of a shock, yeah.
I was just walking into the gym to go to a Pilates class, and loads of TV screens, and they've all got the First Minister on with a headline, Nicola Sturgeon resigns. So myself and a few other people were standing aghast and astonished at the TV. So, we'll see what emerges from it.
Yeah, I don't think anybody saw that coming, did we?
No, I think not.
It's funny, though. I mean, we're not party political. We always say this. I'm a group of friends are in a WhatsApp group in Clacks. And we kind of very, very quickly moved from, oh, my God, Nicola's resigned, to, the yes movement's bigger than one person.
Yeah.
What's next? How does this going to work? And sort of look into the future. So
obviously, there will be a next, and, things will emerge. It's all a bit unsettling just now, isn't it? In the sort of interim kind of phase. But, as you and others have been saying, the indie movement is bigger than the SNP, and what's more, the SNP needs it to be bigger than SNP. Yeah. So, right, okay, where are we? This is our March update.
March, yes. If you missed anything that we did in February, you'll get it on our website, scottishindiepod.scot. There was loads of good stuff in February. So if you missed it, go and check it out. What's coming up in March, though? As you know, we do a podcast every Friday. Occasionally an extra Tuesday. If we throw one in once a month, we do a YouTube show. So 3rd of March, Friday, will be February's Bits and Pieces. Now, normally I do those in the last Friday of the month, but for February, it's a short month. There was a parliamentary recess, and I thought there's not going to be enough to put in it. So I'll knock it back a week. And then, as it turned out, there was plenty to put in it.
Yes, it's more than enough to put in it, wasn't there? For anyone who's watching this who hasn't tried out the Bits and Pieces podcast, do have a go at it, because it's really, really good. Those little snippets, sometimes they're from the Commons, sometimes they're from Holyrood or somewhere else. Really informative, but also quite fun at times as well.
The next one will be the Friday the 10th. This is a podcast of an event that Glasgow Southside put on with Craig DL. Talking through all the chapters in the new book, Sorted. So that's quite a nice discussion, very interesting. Craig's always good to listen to, I think.
He is. And if you haven't come across this, the latest book from Commonweal called Sorted, have a look on their website. And
commonweal.scot is their website.
It's commonweal.scot. And I mean, that book is pretty well guaranteed to have something in it about any topic that you care to think about Scotland being an independent country. It's really excellent.
Beautifully illustrated as well. And then on the following Friday, the 17th, we've got Judith Reid, who's The Chain of Freedom. You might have seen, this has been quite big on Facebook in particular, the idea of having hands joined right across central Scotland along the canalways, called The Chain of Freedom, which is similar to something that the Estonians did way back when. So this is actually an episode of the TNT show, which John Drummond is interviewing Judith, and she explains all about the plans. That's quite an interesting one.
Good.
On the 21st, that will be our video version of Freeports, which is the sort of part 2 from last month's, which was the ferries. Got the same guests.
Sometimes Fiona and I, we have an idea and we set up interviews about it. So the idea was a programme about ferries and freeports. We got in touch with a couple of folk from Yes Orkney, and we, Alf had already been in touch about maybe talking about it. So, of course, what happened was we ended up, if we'd made it one programme, it just wouldn't have done justice to either of those topics. So it's become 2 episodes. Last month was but ferries. That was the one that went out a couple of weeks back. And this one then now is going to be the second half of the conversation that we had with them, and it's going to be about freeports and are they a good thing? Are they a bad thing? Are they they're just a way of avoiding paying taxes?
There might be some pirates in it.
There might be some pirates in it. Are pirates involved in freeports?
That'll be the 21st. Our video should always go out the 3rd Tuesday of the month, premiere at 8 p.m. on YouTube, and then after that, whenever you like. And then on the 24th, that'll be the podcast edit from that show. And then the 31st will be March's Bits and Pieces.
Great. Well, that's another busy month.
It is, and we've got Dundee as well.
If any of you watching this ever tune in to Scotonomics, which is presented by Karen van Sweden and William Thompson, they're putting on a whole 3 days worth of a Scotonomics festival. Even you can
Live,
and it's live, and it's all set up in Dundee. The guests are going up to Dundee. There's various venues that they set up. They're putting a lot of work into it. And William asked myself and Fiona if we'd go along and kind of look after the green room for them on one of the days. So I think actually what that means is we'll be offering people cups of tea.
Pointing them in the right direction.
Pointing them in the right direction. But actually, I must say, I'm quite looking forward to it. And they've got this array of speakers. So have a look on the Scotonomics website. You'll find out more about it, and also how to get tickets, how to tune in. I'll
put the link down below as well, so you can get that. So that'll be the Saturday. We're there the 25th.
And actually, last week, you and I were in Glasgow at another event, weren't we? That was a very different one.
We were, yes. Pensioners for Indy decided to take on the Governor-General and organised a demo outside the UK government hub in Glasgow. So Marlene and I fueled ourselves up with lots of caffeine and stormed in to join the proceedings and filmed it. And actually, if you want to have a look at Mary McCabe did a great speech in front of the building. That's on our YouTube channel, IndiePod Extra.
Yeah, so that's there, and I was taking photographs as well. So I even joined in a wee song for "Come All Ye" because we did a rendition of that. That was good. I mean, God, I'll tell you, hats off to Greater Glasgow Pensioners for India. I'm actually a member of it as well, but I'm not very active at the moment. But hats off to them, because they're down at Argyle Street twice a week, and then on Thursday, instead of going to Argyle Street, they moved further along to Atlantic Square and did that. I was chatting to folk from Dumfries, from Hamilton, Edinburgh. People came over, so it was a good event.
At the end, a police van had driven past quite slowly, having a look, and they must have gone round the block and came back again and stopped. And the pensioners, and I think we've actually just caught it on the end. Let's see what they've got to say. Ha ha ha! And you can imagine the police coming out, the assembled ranks of these pensioners, and they were lovely. They were lovely. They were really good. Came over and then said, "Have a nice day, folks," and off they went. So nice bit of community policing from the Glasgow lot there. And if you want to see some of Marlene's photos, I've put them up on our YouTube community tab as just behind the scenes photos. And if you've not had a look at that community tab yet on our YouTube channel, go and have a look. There's not a massive number of people looking at it yet, but there's a few. And it's nice to have a bit of interaction, actually. Yeah. We've been asking some questions, doing some polls, getting feedback on things, and posting the odd blog and some photos.
Talking about communities and we are obviously we're trying to build up a community of people. Those of you who watch the programs and listen to the podcast. And one of the other things we do is we have a mailing list which you can sign up for from our website. And just to say, for those of you who, I'm sure some of you watching this will already be signed up, so just want to say we've always used MailChimp to run our mail shots, and they've changed their ways of doing business recently, and it meant that we had to change to a different mail shot provider. So the next time you get an email from us, it will say send in blue. It won't say MailChimp, but it's still us. So just if you want to sign up, go onto the website, and the new sign-up form is available from there. We don't send out loads and loads of emails to you, but we do send out 2 a month. And the first one, it always incorporates this video as well. There'll be a link to this video on it. So you get advance notice of what's coming up. Later on in the month, there's another email goes out, and it just, if we've added anything to the blog over the month, then you just get a summary of that, and you can click and go and read the blog post if you're interested. Occasionally we send out maybe a third email in a month, but that's not very often, and it's usually something funny and amusing.
Talking of funny and amusing, our latest attempts at trying to get into Facebook. We've resisted it for so long, and again through our community tab we did a little bit of polling to see if people still used Facebook, and apparently quite a lot do. About half who responded still do. So we thought we ought to have an attempt to set up a Facebook page, because it's another means of being more accessible, and it's another way of getting some interaction and finding out, getting some feedback from people.
Yeah.
So we have set up a Facebook page. It's called Scottish Independence Podcast. It's probably got much the same on it as you can get on our other channels, but if Facebook's the one you prefer to access, then you'll be able to get hold of the links to our podcasts and links to the YouTube there, and probably links to blogs as well. We've got 4 followers at the moment, and 2 of them are me and Marlene. So if anybody would like to follow us, that would be nice. We're doing we're doing it as an experiment, probably up till maybe August. We'll reconsider. And if it's still just me, Marlene, and 2 others, then we will probably let it wither away. But who knows? Maybe it'll be thriving by then. Might be huge.
Great.
Vibrant community.
Good. That's it then.
That's it for March. So be another busy month, and we look forward to sharing it with you.
Yep. Bye.
Bye now.